think the most important area of any job advert is to include details about the package. Again, it's about thinking about things the other way around. If you were the job seeker and if you were looking to apply to a role that didn't have details about the salary on it, you'd be probably quite sceptical as to what the package was or the salary was. And we know from statistics from job boards and also from experience that not including details about the package, salary, OTE, benefits can detrimentally affect your response by up to 40%, and it means you might miss out on that perfect candidate.
I mean, I couldn't agree with that more. The last time I was looking for a job, I would actively avoid the adverts that didn't have salary or benefits at least attached to it, because why would you not publicise that? You know, what is going on with that company?
Yeah.
Something else that's very useful since the advent of mobile media and mobile job boards, 11% of all applications are actually coming through mobiles now. So one key thing that we find is useful to do is actually in the job title, put the salary and directly underneath that the benefits, because on a mobile, that's all you're actually going to see.
Yeah.
And that will encourage them to actually click through and generate more applications for your jobs.
Well, the role is the nuts and bolts of what a job advert is, basically. It's where you tell the prospective employee exactly what they're going to be doing in the actual position. You would be amazed at how many recruitment companies, as well as companies, will just take a job specification and then copy and paste that into an advert and think that's going to work. And it's one of the biggest no-nos in recruitment advertising.
It's a terrible mistake, and it's what a lot of people do, especially when they're new to recruitment or maybe new to a job and think, I'm not quite confident enough to actually write this advert. But it's not as difficult as things. As long as you make the job role punchy and effective, easy to read and easy to understand, it's a massive selling point for any advert and for attracting candidates. Okay, so you've got the role sorted out, you've got your punchy bullet points for that, but then you need to move on to the ideal person. What do you think you should include in that?
Well, there's quite a few things you can talk about. You need to ask about experience, you need to find out whether they've got any relevant qualifications, but this is the area where you're listing your desirable and your essential skills and characteristics that the right person must have. It's basically a tick list for the perfect candidate.
Okay. I mean, I think there can be a danger of making the criteria a little bit too tight, but I don't know about you. In the current market, I've found this doesn't really put people off at all.
No, I would agree with that. We still get inundated with a huge number of inappropriate applications who sometimes just ignore this list anyway. But I still think it's good practice to include this section in, because hopefully it will appeal again to the right person who's looking at the advert.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got an effective role, we've got an effective ideal person section. But what about the company itself? This is your opportunity to sell your company to the prospective applicants. But lots of job boards have said recently that it's not quite as important as people think.
In years gone by, I think undoubtedly, and you'll probably still see it today on some adverts, you would have seen a section about the company towards the top of the advert.
Yeah.
The feedback we've got from the job board says it's not as important as before, but personally I would always include a section about the company, something that hopefully will make the prospective employee want to join you. So talk about things like what makes you unique, what are your biggest selling points, why are you good in that particular industry, anything that might help sell the company and the role to the candidate.
I agree. I mean, it gives you a differentiator between you and your competition. So adding that information in might just give you that extra applicant you're looking for.
Yeah. This is a section that's often missed out by recruiters, and it depends as to how you're actually advertising the role, but you need to include a section on how to apply. It sounds obvious, but if it's not there, a candidate won't know what to do. If it's offline advertising, you obviously need to include telephone number, address, email address, or whatever route you want to make that person apply.
Okay, so it's providing as many different routes for the candidate essentially to get their CV to you. Now, a lot of the job boards, they do this automatically, I think, don't they?
That's right, yeah.
But I think what is vital is actually making sure that there is a contact named on that advert, even if it's done automatically, that is available for the candidates to speak to. Otherwise, you might lose applicants.
Yes.